Thank you very much to accepting this interview, and it's my great pleasure to have the chance to speak with you and hearing your story about Manije or Nossrat Peseschkian and about PPT. The first question is, please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much inviting me for this interview. My name is Sheyda Rafat from Germany. I'm born in Iran. I studied in Turkey, lived for a couple of years in Madagascar and Kenya. And since 42 years, Germany is my home. I lived in 3 continents and speak these countries and continents' languages. Diversity and transculturality is part of my DNA. And that is exactly the link to our dear Nossrat and Manije Peseschkian. Diversity and transculturality.
And I know you have 2 sons.
Yes, I have 2 sons and 5, what you say, it's, okay.
I have. Okay, and so thank you. My next question would be: we would like to know your first meeting with Nossrat or with Nossrat and Manije Peseschkian. Which time it was? What was your feeling?
When I met Nossrat Peseschkian, Manije and Nossrat Peseschkian the first time in 1981, and he got to know about my background. Transculturality was from then one of the main themes in our ongoing conversation for almost 4 decades. Many years after our first encounter, he encouraged me to attend the training seminar on positive psychotherapy. I had before many trainings in other methods. And with this invitation, this was my entry into the world of positive and transcultural psychotherapy. And it shaped my professional path as a therapist ever since. I owe Nossrat Peseschkian a lot, and I will be always grateful for the trust and confidence he bestowed upon me in all those years.
And how was with Manije Peseschkian?
The same. They stood together and talked with me, and I learned from both of them a lot.
That's great. And how do you think it influenced your job, your career, your family, your life?
A lot. I learned from them a lot, and they gave me always the guidance, and I could go there, and always they helped me a lot. And I could have supervision in my all the time working with the patients.
And it was a very nice thing. I remember you told about your first responsibility that you got, that Nossrat Peseschkian at 6 o'clock in the morning asked you about give an interview.
Yeah.
That was very funny. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, you know this story. I recall one incident still very vividly. I had only started my training on positive psychotherapy at the Wiesbaden Academy for a few months when dear Nossrat Peseschkian called me surprisingly one day at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was also winter time and dark. He mentioned that he was supposed to have a radio interview at 10 o'clock in Frankfurt. He had to change his plans on a short notice due to other obligations. So he asked me if I could go there instead of him and give the interview. It was about positive and transcultural psychotherapy. And yet, can you imagine? I was really a few months in this training. Of course, I accepted. How can I reject a favor from him? But as you can imagine, I was very nervous since I just started my training and was quite unexperienced. Sure, in positive psychotherapy, unexperienced. On top of that, I really didn't have time to prepare for the radio interview. I had to get ready instantly and drive for at least 1.5 hours to get to the radio station in Frankfurt. It was only due to the immense trust and confidence Nossrat Peseschkian had in me that I took all my courage in both hands and gave this interview very naively. But after the interview was aired on the radio, he called me up and said that he had listened to it the entire time and he was happy with it. Well, of course, I was happy then too. Happy and relieved.
Yes, yes.
But many years later, I realized that this was his way of training his students, giving them challenges and at the same time giving them a lot of trust and confidence in achieving the tasks. He always taught us to have courage to dare a test and extend our comfort zone. This attitude of his shaped my mindset and of those who had the bounty and privilege of being his students, I think. And funny thing is, and still, whenever I have to give a short notice interview, I turn to him, speak to his soul, and ask him for guidance. I tell him, you wanted me in first place to be prepared for such cases. So now you have to help me through this. And can you imagine? Actually, it works. He is there and helps me in such moments. I will be eternally thankful to him and also to dear Manije Peseschkian. I feel very fortunate to have spent so much quality time with her on countless travels and share wonderful memories. She was a very unique person, full of love and great sense of humor. We all should owe, we all owe her so much for all her valuable contributions and hard work for positive psychotherapy in all those years, collecting materials, archiving, corresponding, and so many works. You know, you cannot imagine how much she works for positive psychotherapy. I personally miss both of them very much and pray for their gentle souls very often, really sometimes very often, yes.
I think that's made it make it more important to have such an interview for the young people, for the next generation. It's not enough just to read the books of them, to read the work of them, to see and to feel with you, with all of them who met them, who had the opportunity to work with them together. It's so nice sharing us this great experience. And I know that Manije and Nossrat they were both of them. They were all laughing and making joke. And I know I didn't meet Nossrat, but I know that he told every time it should be a joke. One meeting without really laughing is not successful.
Yes, yes.
So if you think about a joke, about a metaphor, or I don't know, something come immediately in your mind. Do you have something which was funny, funny thing, funny situation, and or how was his way to bring love and happiness in every group, in every training?
You know, he could tell every time a joke. He could tell every time his story.
Yes.
You know, he had an amazing memory and amazing humor of and sense of humor. And I cannot tell now which
Yes, yes.
kind of, you know, jokes, but we laugh a lot. And he said always also, if you don't tell a story in the seminar, once in a seminar, and if you don't, or the attendees don't laugh in a seminar, this seminar cannot be successful.
Yes, that's great. And so my last question is, what do you wish for future for PPT?
For the future, for the PPT, you know, now in actual time, I hope we will have next Congress in free Iran, in birth country of Nossrat and Manije Peseschkian. This is my wish, and I know the Congress will be very successful because the people of Iran, they will love it. They are working now also in this method, but they will love this, and they are really brave persons, and they should have this gift. This is a gift of VAP to give in Iran to the Iranian people, this Congress, next Congress.
So then it will be. That is a great wish. And the hope is one of the center in positive psychotherapy.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Sheyda. It was so great. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Welcome.